and welcome. Welcome to Rewire Your Mind. My name is Joey Hodges, and if you're new, Rewire Your Mind is all about building a strong, loving relationship with yourself. A lot of things revolving around that. Today, we're going to be talking about how to fall in love with yourself. And I mean how to truly, truly love yourself. Because it is not an easy thing to do, by no means. But today's episode, I'm going to give you 4 steps on how to rebuild back that relationship with yourself and to fall back in love with yourself like you probably once did when you were a little kid, or maybe a teenager, or maybe a couple years ago. But we're going to get back to that point. We're going to get it a lot further than that point, actually, okay? But I will tell you right now, before we get into it, it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of intentionality, and it's going to require a vast majority of your attention, your energy, and your focus. But I can promise you it is going to be so worth it. But before we get into it, I want you to know that if you dedicate your life on this journey, on rebuilding back up yourself and your love, you can get to a point where you look in the mirror, look at the person looking back at you, and have an immense feeling of love flow through you. And to just want to scream to everybody, I love myself. To love every part of you, every inch of you. To love yourself enough to do the things that are best for you in your life, in your health, in all aspects, without feeling like it's a burden and you have to do these things. All right, before I get to step number 1, 2 more things. 1, yes, like I said, it's going to be a long journey and it's a forever journey of building that love, but to be able to love yourself is not far away. Because all you need to do to love yourself truly is accept yourself. Accept who you are. Accept the mistakes you've made. Accept where you are. Accept it is okay. And number 2, which is a quote that I said in my first episode, which is going to lead us right into this first step, is how can you expect to love yourself if you don't know yourself? And how can you expect to know yourself if you don't spend time with yourself? The reason you don't have a strong, loving relationship with yourself is because you don't know yourself. You don't make the time to spend moments in solitude with no distractions, nothing around you, just quiet, just you, your mind. And listen, I don't know what mental state you are in right now, but it can be hard to do that at first. It can be very hard to just close your eyes with no noise and just sit in your mind, because our minds can be crazy, they can be scary, they can be fast, they can be loud. But it is necessary. When I first started to try and get onto this journey of building a relationship with myself and, figuring out who the hell I am, it was very hard. It got harder before it got better, because it made me realize how messed up in the head I actually was, how much I hated myself, how little confidence I had, how little trust I had, how negative the cycles of my thoughts would be all day long. So if you're in a place where your mind is not where you want it to be, and you know it could improve, I need you to understand the first step is sitting with it. It's sitting with it. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be hard. You're not going to want to do it, but you're going to have to. You're going to have to use discipline. You're going to have to be consistent. And lastly, you're going to have patience, because it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to just meditate 1 or 2 times and be good. It's going to be an everyday thing for maybe months and years. I mean, ultimately a lifetime, but I'm saying until you actually start to see some progress. And I don't know what your thoughts and beliefs are on meditation, but it is simply being alone with yourself with no distractions, okay? And you can do, a guided meditation or just no noise, maybe a meditation music or sound. But regardless, your goal is to just be with yourself. That's it. Let your mind wander. Try and bring it back to the present. Every time your mind goes off on some loop, it's an opportunity to bring it back to the present, to catch those thoughts as they come up. to tell yourself, maybe that's not the truth. Because listen, your mind, I'm sorry, but it's not telling you the truth most of the time. Your mind is a program of the past, of every moment of your life up until right now. Your mind, your subconscious is programmed to think a certain way, to believe certain things. Okay? So it's not your fault necessarily, but it is your responsibility moving forward. Because you know, maybe you didn't know before this, but now you do know. You can rewire your mind. You can change the way you think. You can rebuild a relationship with yourself. But the first step is spending time with yourself. And that goes right into number 2 is getting to know yourself. While you start to spend that time, get to know who you are. Ask yourself the question, who am I? Who am I? What do I like? What don't I like? What are my skills? What are my flaws? What are my dreams? What are my beliefs about myself? Deep down, truly, ask yourself these questions. Going to the third one is be honest with yourself. When you ask yourself these questions, what is the real answer? Why are you the way you are right now? Where can you improve? Why aren't you improving? Do you not believe that you can? Because let me tell you right now, you're not just going to have belief in yourself and your abilities to conquer the world and to transform your mind and to change your life. Belief is built. You build belief by taking action. Action kills doubt. Because that's simply what it is doubts and fears in your mind holding you back, telling you, this is the way I am. I can't change. I'm not meant for it. I'm not worthy. I'm not, all these different things. It's not the truth. Okay, so be honest with yourself. And another way to do this besides just trying to think this on your mind is writing it out. Pulling out a piece of paper, write down these questions, answer them. That's another form of sitting with yourself. And those first 2 steps are some of the most important things that you're going to have to be consistent with every single day. Even when you start to love yourself and feel good. Okay? Because I promise you, it's a forever journey. And those first few things are very, very important. And they are things that you have to be very consistent with. And I don't expect you to just, day one right now, just because I'm telling you to go ahead and journal and meditate and do these things every day and just be a slow progress of, loving yourself. No, there's going to be ups and downs and ups and downs. And you need to just accept that that's the way life is. Maybe you've tried to do these things. Maybe you've been on this journey for a while. Maybe you're not seeing the progress. Maybe you did, but now you're falling off. It doesn't matter. Right now, today, is a new opportunity to change, to try to change, to improve your life, to choose yourself. Can you do that? Simply choose yourself. And that leads me straight into the 4th thing, which is taking care of yourself, taking care of your mind, your body, your soul. And what I've been talking about are things that are great for your mind, but you also have to make sure you are taking care of your body, your soul. You know you should be working out consistently. You know you need to be eating these foods and cutting out the junk food, cutting out the alcohol, or at least limiting it. Doing those things are acts of self-love. In those moments when you choose to put down the drink, to put down the junk food, to go to the gym and get that workout in, you are choosing yourself. You are telling yourself, I love myself enough to take care of my goddamn self. And then soul, prayer, your relationship with God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Something we'll talk about in a whole nother video. But listen, I could tell you everything in the world that you should be doing, where you can be and why you got to do it. But at the end of the day, it's not going to do anything. It is simply up to you and your hunger to love yourself. All right? Be patient with yourself. It is okay. Where you are at right now is okay. The things you did in the past, the mistakes, the regrets, that's a part of your journey. It's a part of life. It is okay. I promise you. And yes, I know the way you grew up, the things that happened to you, the traumas, they affected you a lot. And that's why you are who you are right now. And yes, that is going to make it a little harder to change and build this relationship with yourself. But it's possible. It's possible. Just because it's hard means you're not going to go for it. Do you really want to live the rest of your life in this mindset? I don't know what your thinking is going to change it. Maybe it's that new job, that new life. Once you start making a lot more money, once you have the family, this and that. None of it is going to change it. I promise you. It can make you feel better temporarily, but after some time goes by, you're going to be right back where you are mentally. The thoughts are going to come back. They're going to be on new things, but they're going to be there. I'm going to end it right here, but listen, it is your responsibility. It is your duty. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the people around you, your family, your friends, your loved ones. You owe it to them. If not for you, do it for them. How are you not going to show up as the best possible version of you? You can't expect to love these people with your whole heart if you don't love yourself. So if you are ready to make the change, to commit to building this relationship, and you want to fall back in love with yourself, let's go for it. Now is the time. All right. If there's anything I can do, send me a message. I want to talk to you.